Yay! Now I can see it. Hey, G.
Hey, Chandra.
How
Hey.
are you?
I'm doing good from the happy state of Maryland. How are you?
I am well. I am well. Happy Thursday from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Absolutely, absolutely. How's the weather?
Actually, it's actually cooled off. I mean, we were having a heat wave for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 actually straight days. It was above 85, 90, which is unusual. So we took a nice dip into the 70s. So it feels amazing.
We have some rain and we have some cicadas all going on at the same time, but it's good. It's
Yes.
good. It's
I
good.
forgot about your cicadas. How much longer is that gonna go on?
I don't know. Where are my science teachers? Help us out. Every week, I think we only have 2 weeks, and it seems to go further and further. So I'm open to whatever it is. It's always good to be with my girl, Chandra Joseph Lissette, and the people
I
in Real
know.
Talk Real Time Educators Forum.
I'm so excited we are here. I am so excited. It is June. I am so excited that we are almost at the end of this unbelievable year. There is so much to talk about and so much to
Hmm.
celebrate and so
Yes.
much to celebrate. So many shout outs to do. So, hello, everybody out there in our Facebook group. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, we appreciate you so much. Y'all are not alone. Y'all are here as part of our tribe. We are right here with you. I know G and I are still slugging it through the end of the school year. Our districts are not over. So please do not think that y'all are struggling alone. We are
You're
feeling
not.
you in
Yes.
all of this heat here, particularly in all this heat in some of these unair conditioned schools. But we're gonna leave that alone right now. We're gonna leave that alone
Yes,
right
we
now.
will. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We see you, Shakia Houston, member of our group who does her own thing on Facebook, social media. Good to have you. You see anybody else who's out there, Chandra? You
Welcome. I do not at the moment. I do not.
okay. But as you all come in, if you have not already shared what we do here, please share the link to Real Talk Real Time Educators Forum to some of your friends. Encourage them, invite them to join us. Where we try to keep real talk, real time, all the
Exactly. This is a forum by teachers for teachers, supporting and uplifting teachers and educators from pre K all the way through higher education. And today, we say thank you.
time.
Thank you
Yes.
for all you have done, all that you always do, but all that you have done this academic year for
That's
all of
right.
our students, all of our families, and our community. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, those of you who have been checking with us, we've been doing Real Talk Real Time with Chandra and Gorgette since March of 2020. And this topic that we planned for tonight is, think of it, it's not the teacher's lounge, but it's kind of like us sitting around a fire or us just celebrating, gathering for a light meal. So don't think of it as work as much as it is you coming together with colleagues, just talking and fellowshipping and talking about what's real. And we know teacher self care and empowerment is real.
Absolutely. And today we want to start out with saying, I've said thank you and I said shout outs, but I really want to be specific. And I want to start from a place that some of us haven't talked about and say, thank you to our school leaders and to our administrators out there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, G
Yes.
and I started this forum because loads of conversations were happening around us about us as teachers, and no one was talking to teachers. And we know we were going through it. We know we were going through it, and our school administrators were going through it too. And I can tell you, nobody was praising them, nobody was thanking them, and nobody was probably, giving them a forum to have these kind of conversations at all, and we all know school leaders, and we know that this has been a heck of a year for them. It has not been easy. And so thank you. We recognize it. We know that y'all are out there slugging it out, doing the absolute best
Yes.
in a almost impossible situation. So thank you.
Yes. And we have to thank all those support staff, all the people that help make it happen, the people that are up at 6 to unlock the doors, put the heat on, the people that are getting the food ready, especially for me when I leave my lunch home and I got to slip in there and get a little bite. For those people that are keeping it clean, answering the phone, supporting those kids that are crying, that need a band aid, all the folks that are helping to make it happen, we say to you, thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts.
Absolutely.
To
Absolutely.
you, our novice teachers, our newbies this year, and maybe you've been a newbie for 2 years. Just first of all, here you go. Here you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for hanging in there. Thank
Mhm.
you for believing in you, and thank you for
Yes.
believing in our kids. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We
Mhm.
know that this was not the first year experience or even the second or third year experience that
No,
you were expecting, and you did it. You pivoted
absolutely.
about, I don't know, a gazillion times this
Mhm.
year, right? And still
Mhm.
pivoting. And for that, we say, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And you even led. There were times that we came to you for insight, for help, for assistance, as we've done for many years. But this particular year was different. So we thank you for being kind and patient and receptive to feedback and receptive to being open to helping others. But there were some people who were by your side. There were those mentor teachers, those coaches, those people who kind of was that teacher across the hall, the person that kind of held you up when you were feeling a little low. So we want to thank those teachers, every level, college, K 12, pre K, all of you teaching by day and by night from your kitchen and your bed. And then eventually, in some cases, in the schoolhouse. We thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have to, while we're on it, give a thank you to all of the families of all of the educators,
Oh, Chandra, that would have been a misstep if we didn't
right?
say that. Absolutely.
Totally. Because I
Mhm.
know, thank you to the
Mhm.
folks in my house. Thank you for your patience. Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, thank you for your support. Thank you
Mhm.
for understanding that,
Mhm.
mommy, papa, grandma, aunt, whatever wasn't always at your disposal every single
That's
second,
right.
even though we were in the house.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
understanding. And even
Mhm.
thank you when you didn't understand for giving us a little grace
Mhm.
and a little patience.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Even those teachers, we can't forget this either. Those teachers that are juggling, balancing. Some had jobs inside and outside of the home in
Come
addition
on.
to their teaching job. Some are caring for aging parents. Some are caring for nieces and nephews. Some are dealing with their own health battles. And for the so many teachers that even in their own sickness, before we even knew what that sickness was, prior to March
That's right.
2020, you were still dragging that big heavy bag full of papers back and forth, to and fro, trying to keep things going. So we thank you. And we take a moment just to kind of pause because we know there were some teachers that did not survive in the last 18 months. And
That's right.
so we give our condolences, our special prayers and thoughts to those families and even the school families of those people because I have experienced a close, you too, Chandra. We both talk about
Mhm.
those close colleagues that we've lost. And those people, thank God I know they'll always be with me. But we just pray that you find peace and cling to the memories with those colleagues.
Absolutely. And thank you to all of our mid career veteran, every single in between educator. Um, Thank you for being there for one another.
That's
Thank
right.
you for being there for us. Because I'm telling you, there is no way I could have gotten through this year in a silo. There's just
No.
no way. There is
We'll
just
talk about that. We'll talk about that
so
because you can't do it alone.
no. Thank you for being the amazing people, not just
That's right.
educators, right? The
Mhm.
amazing people that you
Mhm.
are this year and supporting one another and supporting our kids and
That's
supporting
right.
our families. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. And some of you are like, okay, enough. You- we could go on and on and on because we know that there's just not enough thanks to go around for everything that the educator does, spending the money that they have to spend and only getting the write off $250. I digress. For the ways in which they support, even in the neighborhood. Once somebody knows you're a teacher, you never turn off, right,
Mhm.
Chandra?
That's
You're
right.
just always there. My child is thinking about majoring in this. What do you think about? So we just thank you all for all the things you do for all the people that know you, especially those relatives, right, Chandra? Oh man. And we're not going to turn them down. We're not going to say, no, I'm not going to help you, cousin, sister, niece, neighbor. So we're going to say thank you on behalf of all of those people. We will.
Absolutely. And if you have not taken the 7 seconds that it takes to thank yourself
Mhm.
and to thank the tribe around you, please do so. Like, give
Yeah.
yourself a pat on the back, whatever you
Mhm.
have to do, and say, thank you for being strong enough, bold enough,
Mhm.
whatever the enough was to
Yes.
get you through this year, both personally and professionally.
Yes. So, we have up on the screen our next session of Real Talk Real Time because we just really love supporting teachers in our day-to-day work. I'm an instructional resource teacher at a middle school, and my work is to help teachers in their instruction and in their capacity to just be the best that they could be, offering the best instruction and just being good role models for students. And so that's a big part of the passion that we have about Real Talk Real Time. Chandra?
Yes, I just have to give a shout out. I see Jarima said, thank you so much for welcoming, for recognizing the administrators. We hear you, Jarima. Absolutely. We know that y'all be killing
Absolutely.
it out there. So absolutely.
Yes.
And welcome,
Yes.
welcome. Glad you're here.
Yes. Yes. Chandra, tell them a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I am here in Massachusetts, and a little bit would be interesting because, like everyone else, I've had many pivots and changes in positions this year. The long and short of it is my entire job is twofold. One is supporting new teachers across my district in any way possible, and the other is helping as many folks in my district as possible attain their license. So making sure they have all the supports they need, what courses, what MTELs are our exams, and taking some of those pressures of the complete
Yeah.
confusion of the Department of Education off of their backs,
Mhm.
um, so that they can do the job that they love and want to do.
And I mean, even in the midst of a pandemic, we had teachers trying to complete licensure requirements, state tests. I mean, we have seen it and heard it through Real Talk Real Time. And so we think people like Chandra in that role who are trying to help support our next generation of teachers, or even those teachers who are in the fight right now trying to finish up. And so if you need to finish up your stuff, get it done. We support you. We support you. But again, can't do it alone.
Absolutely. And exactly, you are not alone. People to the left, people to the right, people behind you had to go through the exact same thing. And there are plenty of us here to help you push them stumbling blocks out your way to get to your goal. Keep pushing. We got you.
Exactly, exactly. So if you're just joining us tonight, we are going through our second live. We're so excited. This one tonight is about teacher self-care and empowerment. And basically what we're trying to do is to empower teachers to take care of themselves, simply put. And Chandra is between the two of us, she's the self-care guru. So, of course, we have to talk about teacher self-care.
Listen, you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. So I'm gonna start here and I'm gonna start now and I'm gonna tell on my own self. So
Okay.
I was gonna tell a story and actually say that I came after work and took a nap. That's a lie. I passed out. It's a lie. I hit a wall and I legit passed out. I haven't done that in a long time, right? Clearly, my body was tired, no question. And so it just made me think about what we were talking about earlier, G, about just listening to your body,
That's right.
allowing yourself to begin to wind down. Now, we know
Hmm.
this often a hard hit, right? Like you're going strong. It's a hard
Yes.
hit when summer comes. It's like, bam,
It is like bam.
all of a sudden you've hit the wall, right? It's summertime. you flip over and whatever it is. And in my case, I just passed out.
Yes.
And what it said to me was, you need to slow down. You probably need to slow down long before now and take some time to take care of yourself and get some more, in this case, get some more rest. Build that time in, build that nap time in, maybe you just need to go to sleep earlier time in because you know what your day looks like.
Hello.
And I didn't. Guilty.
And I didn't.
Guilty. And I'm not alone. Listen, y'all out there, don't act like I'm alone. Y'all know you've all been guilty of it too. You don't look that way because I know you have too.
Yeah, you know, when you say, I'm gonna just do this one more thing. I'm gonna just this one more thing. That so I'm gonna be teaching a class this summer with a colleague. And so I was working on that and I called myself going to bed early. And guess what? I woke up at 3 a.m. I'm like, what?
That's right.
No. And then I was up till 5. You know how I was hurt today. I was hurting. So I did like you and I crawled in the bed. I said, I'm not gonna make it tonight if I don't get a little something. Can anybody relate to that? You just gotta take a minute. And I have never been a napper, and I don't know if it's because I'm growing gracefully or what. But your girl had to go get a little winky wink. And so I think you're right. We have to pay attention to what our bodies are saying and act accordingly.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, we don't even realize how tired we are yet, right?
Nope.
Like under normal circumstances, under a normal school year, you don't realize how tired you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
You skid yourself into the end of the school year and you're like, oh, thank goodness I finally got here, right?
Wait, you said skid.
I did. Because you know that's the truth. You know it's the truth. Mm-hmm. This year, I'm telling you, we have no idea how tired we are. So I'm just saying, plan accordingly. I'm just saying, whatever you might have done to wind down in the past, you might want to turn up the volume on that a little bit, because this has been a heck of a year like no other. And your body, your mind, and your spirit is going to be craving. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
They're slowing down. Thank you. They're feeding me. Thank you.
But Chandra, do you think, I believe because our bodies got rest we probably didn't get in a long time in the pandemic. That shutdown changed my life. Did the shutdown change your life? It changed my life because I learned I'm a 6-hour person. I only need 6 hours of sleep. I go to bed at midnight, I'm up at 6. Okay. But I didn't even know that before. So now my wind down, it just has to look different, because me trying to push, it throws that 6 hours off. But I'm open to looking. I'm open to looking at new ways. But don't get me wrong. Don't think that I don't know how to wind down. How do you wind down? Okay, we both fell into the beds and took a nap before, and we have no shame. Okay, we have no shame. So.
Gee, I told you it wasn't a nap. I told you I passed out. I ain't gonna lie to people.
Mine was a nap. Mine was timed. It was a nap. So, what does a good wind down look like for you?
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that. And what I really just need to physically unplug, right? So what that means for me is that I have to physically pull myself away from the environment right now that was my work environment. And quite frankly, that means my house. So like I need to be right? I need to be in another space. And I will tell you why. Because this environment for me right now is triggering it triggers work. Like that's what it means to me right now. I haven't been able to separate it in my mind. And I think that I need to physically separate myself and just get away for a while and come, walk back in a re-entry, so to speak. So I really feel like, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do, it's definitely going to be a staycation, because I can't even get up the moxie, the energy, the whatever, to try to plan something right now. Right. Okay. So, it may be, I'm just going to go to a friend's house. It might be, a couple of nights in a hotel. I haven't decided. I will figure it out. But I do know that I do need to physically separate myself for a while. I need to read some books, and I don't mean anything educational. I mean,
it's okay.
Some Some of the stuff gonna be trashy. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm
Okay,
saying,
okay,
and
okay.
and the reason that I'm saying that is because I need to be able to read without having to overly stress my brain right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm having a hard time shutting it off. I'm laying my head down, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just my mind is going at a gazillion miles a minute, and so that's what I know. You know what? I need to do something different. I need to be able to physically be in some other space, and I need to be able to concentrate on just one thing and not think about 30,000 other things at one time.
So I hope you all are joining us in the chat talking about this because the way Chandra winds down has even changed since March of 2020.
Mm,
I don't think Chandra really knew how to wind down. Would you agree, Chandra?
maybe.
So
No,
I mean, I'm
guilty,
really proud of you, Chandra.
guilty. Yeah.
I'm proud.
And I do think that that does have something to do with our forced freeze, right? This thing we're calling COVID,
Yes.
this
Mhm.
forced freeze, because it gives you a whole lot of time to think, sometimes overanalyze, but just,
Yes.
just to think.
Assess.
Yeah.
Assess. And
Yeah,
so
that's a good word.
I know that, we love assessing students and assessing their learning goals and their progress and success criteria and all of that. Well, what is success for us? We got to really bring this in and think about, um, I just praise Chandra, in her transition, you know yourself, you know the things you need to do to transition. So think about that. What would success look like? If you're a person that can never fall asleep, it could be that you're really too tired. It could be something that you might need to talk to your medical professional about it, but don't assume that this is normal. And I think before the shutdown,
Mm,
we started believing that never falling asleep or that always on the move was normal. Don't you think?
absolutely. And when we say we, it's the profession in general, right? Have we decided, whoever the we is, decided that normal was foot on the pedal, full steam, gas ahead from August through June or whatever your academic year looks like. And
Mm-hmm.
that was normal for
Yeah.
years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
We even told people new to the profession, listen, just tell your friends you'll see them in June, right? Just listen, that's just the way that it is. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we will recalibrate and make different. We will model differently. We will talk differently, and we will encourage each other differently.
Yeah.
So I know for me, my wind down has been, I like crafts. I love some crafts. And so I've added to that, expanding some of the crafts that I do since the shutdown. I have gotten to walking. Chandra, I love it. I
Yes.
love to go for a walk. And it became an accident, when we were in the midst of the shutdown and we were sitting all the time, my hips started bothering me. And so I was like, I got to get up. I got to go out. So I just started like walking up the block and then I walked around the corner. Before I knew it, I was gone from the house 45 minutes. So I'm grateful that that's my new thing. It makes me feel good. I love that alone time. There's been times I've come home from work, kicked off them work clothes, put on my walking clothes, and I say to them, I'll be back. And they know I'm off for a walk. So if you haven't discovered the new wind down for yourself, we encourage you to do that.
Absolutely. And your walking made me think of, body, mind, and soul, right? Like
Mhm, mhm.
all of those three things, those integral
Yeah,
parts of who
yeah,
we
yeah,
are, in
yeah.
full integration. And we don't always think about what all of those pieces of us mean and what all of those pieces of us need.
Yes.
And we need to, if in fact our new normal is going to be recalibrated, right? As you said, it's
Hmm.
going to have to start with each of us individually.
Hmm.
We are going to have to demand better of ourselves
Yes.
and our colleagues,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
it's going to have to be okay, right?
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
Chandra says, you know what? I'm not going to go to that second meeting after
Hmm.
school. I just can't do that. I'm
Hmm.
going to need my colleagues to say, you know what, you right, sis, you right.
Hmm.
And that's okay. You do what you got to
Yeah.
do, right? Encouraging that as opposed to, come on, just stay for 5 minutes. Come on, just stay for 10. Come on.
Yes.
Because I said I
Yes.
need to not do that second meeting, right? And me being okay with that and
Mhm.
my colleagues supporting that is so important. It's
Mhm.
going to mean dragging some folks out of their classroom, knocking on that. Listen,
Yes. Come
it's,
on.
it's time for us to break out. We got to
You
go.
know, I mean, some teachers they don't know how to do that. I know for
Mhm.
me, I would set a time. I would have 1 or 2 days a week that I committed to staying late because I don't like working at home. I don't like bringing work home,
Mhm.
but I would have like a maximum time that I would stay because I was a mom too for those years that I was still in the classroom, and I needed to get home to my babies,
That's
and
right.
I needed to get home to my mom, or I needed to get home to my spouse. So it's important to set those parameters. And you talked about this a few minutes ago. You have to deal with yourself. You have to empower yourself to say, this week, if you got to even look at it 1 week at a time, this week, I'm going to do this. And that this could be I'm going to leave early. I'm going to go home and I'm going to go to bed at this time and I'm not going to sleep with those papers in the bed.
Or the
You
computer
know,
in this case.
the laptop, okay, rolling over the mouse in the middle of the night. So we have got to start with ourselves, and like you said, encourage each other to be good about that too. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I want to encourage those type A fellow educators out there, guilty. I'm going to encourage you to write some of that stuff down, right? And I know that sounds crazy, like one more thing to do, but listen, here's my truth. If I don't write it down, if it's not in, no judgment. If it's not in this crazy book, don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me, y'all. If it's not in that book, it doesn't exist. So
Mm-hmm.
literally, I have had to, if you look at this crazy right here, you will see a line at the bottom, like a blue line at the bottom. That means stop working,
Mm-hmm.
cut off
Mm-hmm.
time. So I
Mm-hmm.
have done that. I have physically written it in my book and I have alarms on my phone. Now, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that I always pay attention to those alarms. I'm not perfect, but I
Right.
do know if I don't have those alarms as some type of boundary,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I can forget it.
But we're not
I can forget it.
saying to do this and not take responsibility for your roles and responsibilities that you have. So if you have grades are due, we're not saying go home, take a nap, don't sleep at the computer. If you know you didn't grade stuff for the last 2 weeks. No, we're not saying that. We're saying if you set up these systems along the way, then when you get to report card time, you won't feel the stress, you won't feel the pressure. You won't feel like, oh my God, I gotta do my SLOs, or oh my God, I gotta write lesson plans. If you plan it, it will be so much better. And if you're really not sure of how to approach it, you don't have to do it by yourself. Okay, that's ultimately
Me.
what your teams are for. Your content meetings, your grade level meetings, your mentor teachers, your new teacher colleagues, your fellow. I mean, don't think you have to do it by yourself.
Your sister girl, whomever, right? Like you got to
Mhm.
have your tribe, your thought partner, folks
Yeah,
like that to help you with this. I just want to say, Jarima pointed out, and I was like, this is it. Part of the reset has to be the ability to set boundaries. We are not good at
yes,
that. So we have to start sooner than later. So that
yes.
goes right into this whole planful thing that you're talking about, G,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Being
mhm.
planful about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, planning is a part of your empowerment, right? If you just go willy nilly, there's no school system that's willy nilly, right? A school system has a start and it has an end. It has report card periods. All of those dates are scheduled in advance. Am I right or
Mhm.
wrong? So when
Absolutely.
we approach them as though they're surprises, that means we're not empowering ourselves to be in control of our time and to be in control of the consequences that might come if we don't follow through in the ways that we should. So we have to own our responsibility to what we're being asked to do. But that doesn't mean you have to feel as though you're a prisoner to the roles that you play. You just have to plan it, you have to walk it through. And every year comes with different circumstances and challenges, Chandra, right?
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
just, talk it through with people. And even
Absolutely.
look at other people. Look at the people who are leaving early and then saying, how are you able to do that? You know?
Except is instead of giving them the side eye, like you can't believe that they screeching out of the parking lot. I'm just
You
saying,
know,
let's not do that to one another because we do.
okay, administrators, I'm going to speak to you.
Oh well, come on.
Because that comes from a culture that makes it seem like everyone that's staying late is productive or successful
Mhm.
or really staying late for the right reasons. Some people might be escaping a reality they don't want to face at home. It doesn't
Mm.
necessarily mean that they're staying late because they're being productive or working hard or accomplishing anything. So we need our administrators and our school leaders and our teacher leaders to encourage this balance and not make it seem like, oh, you're leaving early today. That's not helpful. It's not. And for some people, think of that tennis player who took a stand recently and said,
Mm.
I that's stressing me out going to the press conferences. So when we say those little things like, oh, I see you're leaving a little early today, and it's 4 o'clock and school ended at 3. That's not early. That's I finished my work that I'm able to do or want to do today. Or maybe it's I have commitments for my family. Or maybe it's I have singing lessons or I have choir practice. Don't allow our work. Chandra knows I always say, you don't want to leave everything you have at the schoolhouse. You have to have things that are important to you, that make you who you are. And the only ways that those things could help make you the very best that you can be is if you get to engage in them. But if you don't, again, do all these things we're talking about, planning, taking naps, anything to kind of make it work, in the end, you'll struggle and then you'll be resentful of the work that you've chosen to do.
And I want to encourage our school leaders, as you have said, yes, to, not kind of assume X, Y, and Z about someone who might be leaving on time or an hour after, as opposed to 2 hours after the end of the
Right,
school
right, right,
bell. But I
right.
also want to encourage them to be models for teachers and doing the same thing for themselves.
Thank you.
Right? Because the
Mhm,
school leaders are often there before we
mhm.
walk in the building,
That's right.
long after we leave. There's no
Mhm,
question about it. So I
mhm,
want to encourage the administrative
mhm.
teams to
That's right.
support one another in
Mhm,
saying, yeah, it's time.
mhm.
We need to cut this off. This can wait until tomorrow. We don't
Yes.
need to have the meeting before the meeting and then the meeting after the meeting. We have to think of,
Yes.
if anything, COVID has taught us, hopefully, more efficient ways of doing some of our business, right?
Mhm,
So I want to
mhm.
encourage that. And I want to encourage our fellow educators to encourage their administrators to do the same. You know,
Yes.
even if, well, maybe you might not know, but now you can pause and think about it. As a former administrator, I will tell you, once you step into those administrative shoes, it's a whole different world.
Yep.
Whatever you're going through, they're going through it as well. And
Mhm,
so,
mhm,
spread a little grace and some kindness. And when you see
mhm,
them running around and and say, I see you,
mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Are you taking care of yourself? You need some
Yeah.
water? Do you need a break? Do you need to
That's
step
right.
out? I noticed that, your car was here every single morning.
Yes.
Those sorts of things, and letting them
Mhm,
know it's okay. We see you as
mhm,
a person, as a human being, and we know that
mhm,
you have to take care of yourself, your personal
mhm.
responsibilities, and your family as well. We
Yeah.
all need to be far more supportive of one another.
And we have to take care of our health,
Come
Chandra.
on.
I know an administrator that is trying to get out the building to get to the pool. I celebrate that. I know an administrator that would make those appointments to go to Massage Envy every month. It's a lot of y'all Massage Envy members, and you ain't using that stuff you got. You done paid for.
Who you talking? What you talking about, Willis? You talking about me?
And I don't have any stock in misogyny. I'm just using that as an example
Yeah, you're
because
right.
because in your mind you're like, this is a good thing I'm gonna do for me. So you already know you need something in your life, right? I'm encouraging you to, just like you put the leadership meeting in your planner and the staff meeting in your planner,
Come
you
on.
put that massage envy appointment in your planner, that nail appointment in your planner, the foot massage in your planner. the walk, the stroll at the outlets in your plant, whatever. You deserve it and you
That's right.
must make time. And so when I think about when people take those moments to do that, they wind up really being their best selves.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what we all want. The kids want. The kids want them to be their best selves. And if we can't encourage them to do that, take that time, get away, um, go to a game. Okay. It's baseball season now. Go to a game. Go. I saw one of my former students who's a teacher said she's going to start roller skating. Do those things,
Yeah.
please.
And can we just back up for 1 minute? Because you talked about appointments, you talked about massage appointments, you talked about nail,
Yeah.
all of that. That's wonderful and glorious. And you need to take care of that. You know what
Yeah.
else we need to make sure we take care about?
Uh-oh.
Our doctor's appointments,
Yep.
our dental appointments.
Yep. Yep.
Listen,
Yep.
go to your urologist, go to your
Yes.
gynecologist, go to
You're
your
right.
therapist, go to where you need to go. And
You're
so
right.
we got to pause for a minute because I know in this group, I put a video up a while ago telling folks not to wait to the end of the year to make all
Yes.
those appointments over the summer because you know how we do. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
in the summer, I'm going to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, taking care of yourself is a year-long process. It should
Mm-hmm.
not wait until the summer. You should not fill
Yeah.
your summer with all of those appointments. That being said, some of you have waited. So please
Mm-hmm.
take some time and make those appointments. Make those appointments for yourself, for your family, but make those appointments and keep them. So that needs to be written down too. And keep them.
I'm convicted. I've had dentists in my planner every month to make the appointment.
Okay.
Now, I haven't been saying I'm gonna wait till summer, but I keep allowing other things
That's right.
to be the priority. And you're right. So I can't say from March, make a dentist appointment. Now, April, it's June. I have not made the dentist appointment.
And what's stopping you?
Me.
Yeah.
It begins with me.
Because we put everything often and
Yeah.
everyone else
You're right.
in front of us. And we figured we'll do it later. We'll do it later. But 3 months later, the
Mhm.
appointment still isn't made. And I am not talking, there may be absolutely nothing wrong with you. Part of taking
Yes,
care of yourself is being preventative,
that's
right?
right. Yeah.
Because you don't want to wait until something is wrong with you, because then you really going to be in your doctor, your dentist office, and whatever else. One of the reasons why I'm at the dentist every 3 months is because I wasn't making it a priority, and so I'm paying for it now. And so I'm just trying to get other
Yeah.
folks ahead of the game. Take care of yourselves. You are worth it. You are worth it,
Mhm.
and you have the time. You don't have to
Mhm.
wait and take your dental and doctor's appointment on your vacation, whether it's spring break,
Right.
winter break, summer break. You have the time built in. You really can take
Can
those times to take care of yourself.
can I add to that? I recall speaking with a teacher this year, and she shared with me that she took a few days off last month. She said I was starting to feel, being on the computer, being sedentary. I started to feel some kind of way, and I took
Mm-hmm.
a few days off. She says, and I felt so much better, and I was just proud of her for making the decision for herself. Because even when you don't, and I'm speaking to those teachers out there that feel like you want to come in sick. First of all, I need you to stay home when your nose is running.
Mm,
Fever, sore throat, please just stay home.
yep.
It's not a badge of honor to come feeling ill. If COVID did not teach us that, I don't know what
Mm,
else did. Okay, please. The second thing, when you don't feel well and you're a classroom teacher, the children know you.
yeah.
They know. I remember those years, you think, oh, I'm going to just get in here. And then you like, good morning. And they like, good morning, Miss Greenhardnet. And then you remember, right, Sandra? The whole
Listen,
class is like,
they feed off your energy.
they feed off your energy. So you're better off saying, like, if they say, why were you out yesterday? Oh, I just need to go take care of a couple of appointments, and then there's going to be another nosy one. Would you have to go? Oh, I just, there's always another one. I decided to go take care. I had some appointments and things like that, whether it be myself or my children, my family. It's important and it's good modeling. I'm always talking to Chandra and my good girlfriends about what we're doing. Our children are watching
That's
us.
right. That's right.
So if I think that it's brave or it's impressive to not go and get checkups or not take a nap or not, it's so cute because my son, he's like, what time should I make sure you're up? That's because we set up some systems in here. Naps are welcomed in this
I
house.
love it.
You're not called lazy when you nap because that's old school, right?
That's right. That's right. That's nonsense, is what that is. It's nonsense. Keep going till you drop. Come on, we all have stories of our grandmothers that never sat down. I'm still thinking about Nan. I'm like, I don't remember that woman sitting down anytime I was over at her house. And that was considered a badge of honor. And you know what? She was flipping miserable.
Yeah.
And exhausted all the time. That's not okay.
It's not, Chandra. It's not.
No.
And we keep doing this stuff to ourselves where by being yourself, you put something beautiful into the world that was not there before. But yourself is not tired. Yourself is not beat up. Yourself is not feeling stressed. I'm not going to get spiritual, but there's things about that we see that's in the Bible, which was written a long, 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 long time ago. The word rest is in there, y'all. We're supposed to do it.
That's right. That's
right. We're supposed to rest.
Yeah. And let's also say that rest looks different for different people, right? So for you, it might be that nap. It might be that walk. It might be sitting still. It might be meditate. Whatever rest means to you, resting your body, resting your mind, resting your spirit, whatever, that's what you need to do. And if you haven't figured out what rest means to you, this is the time to stop and think about that.
Yes,
what would it mean, right? To be restful in my spirit? What is it that I need to fill my spirit so that it's at peace and restful? What do I need to do to make sure that my body is feeling rested? So I'm not achy. So I'm not, slow moving. So I'm not whatever I'm not, but I am actually in my best physical space and form. What does it mean to rest my mind so that my mind is not racing constantly with all sorts of things so that it can be at peace? I can be creative if I want to be. I can be still. I don't know, hear the birds because I haven't even noticed. You know how crazy that is to realize one morning that you have not noticed the birds for weeks? Has that ever happened to you?
In the shutdown, when everything stopped and silence, how did that feel to you? Like, to me, and I know we don't want to get too far off, but that was powerful, to rest in silence. Some people can't do it. They gotta always have noise. They always gotta have on some kind of social media. They always gotta have on some music. They always gotta have an earbud in. Find some silence so you could get at one with yourself. And Chandra and I are kind of just sharing honestly, how we see things, how we approach them. But when we do Real Talk, Real Time, we're really kind of setting it up to help teachers figure this all out for themselves. Right. And we do that through community. We do that through our sessions. We're kind of the facilitators of that, and the cheerleaders. But what's important is that we're giving you space to kind of decide, what do I need? And so there's a lot of people, they see our Real Talk, Real Time stuff. They're like, oh, they look so nice. It ain't meant to be nice. It's for you.
It's for us. Let's tell it like a T. T-I-E.
Tell it like a right? T. Tell it like a T.
It's for all of us. I mean, I can't tell you every single week that we are on and we are in community, as much as, folks who come on Get, we get as well. It feeds my passion and my soul to be in the presence of educators who get it and to be able to be my, forgive the cliche, authentic self, right? I can just tell the whole story and the whole truth, and people understand it, and there's no judgment zone, right? And then we can get to the other side of trying to work through solutions that empower all of us to be our best selves, both personally and professionally. So every single week when we get to do that, I know that I'm feeding myself, and we've heard from enough participants to say, this is amazing. This is great. I don't know why it doesn't happen more often. I don't know why it doesn't happen in schools, right? On a regular basis.
Yes. When we had the opportunity to present in a school system, and it was really powerful how that school system decided to make time to allow teachers to focus on self-care. That was part of a series. We did a couple of sessions, and the teachers were in awe that that's all. They were kind of like, is this for real? We're really getting to talk about us. And they were, and I said you should thank them for having that vision for you, that this is important in December and January to take the time to focus on self-care. So just a shameless plug that we have some sessions coming up next week, starting next Thursday. It's free. This is our gift to the universe. So we invite you to come. um, all 3 sessions is a great thing. One is a great thing. Two is a great thing. But come, because there's really not any other place like it. I'm gonna just say it, Chandra. Is that being too presumptuous?
Listen, keep it real. This is real talk, real time. Keep it real. Keep it real. Hey, Tamika, we see you out there. Welcome.
Hey, Tamika. Yes.
Hey,
So,
Dr. B, we see you. Welcome.
hey,
Welcome.
Dr. B. We love it. We love it. So we have no shame. We encourage you to come and join us.
Absolutely. And bring a friend, bring 2 friends. We are here always. We will continue to be as long as teachers need our support.
That's
We
right.
are here
That's
to
right.
support teachers, most definitely, and encouraging you to support yourself and one another. We got to take care of ourselves, y'all. We got to take care of ourselves, y'all. Take care of our community, our educational community.
Chandra and I have been blessed to meet some awesome educators in the forum. Some have been people we've known, some we've met along the way. It's so funny sometimes, like I'll meet some people that are Chandra's friends, and then I'm like, I want to be more of her friend than Chandra's friend. But we are going to start this series where it's going to be called Follow Your Passion. And we have some educators out here that are doing it in the classroom as school leaders, faculty members, um, and they are being their best selves. They are leading, and we want their example to be showcased, because a lot of people feel like you have to abandon your love. Many of us love being educators, but then you have other things that excite you, like my passion. Also, I love to sing, and so I get the opportunity to do that. I sing in a group, and so that's just something that helps make me, I think, a great educator, because I bring that. So let me get them starting to sing, doing math. Okay. So that's my best self. But there's so many of you in the forum, people that, whether it be jewelry, cooking, faculty members, all kinds of things. And I'm not just talking about on the side. I'm talking about, they see this as equally as important as part of who they are. So we want to start sharing some of those stories. So if you, right now, if you have a specific passion that you think you want us to showcase, let us know. When we do the post in this group, let us know. If you know people that are not in the group, let us know, because we're really excited about that. That's going to come.
Absolutely. And this Feeding Your Passion series is really part of self-care, right? The things that are going to feed your soul. I once had an administrator ask me, what is the one thing that you would do in this world that feeds your soul if it wasn't teaching? What would you
Mm-hmm.
do? And I want to say I was probably maybe in my 5th year of teaching, and I still remember that. I still remember him. Bak Fong Wong, got to give him a shout out.
Oh.
Because I asked that question often to myself and to other people because I couldn't answer it then. I had
Mm.
no idea about those things that fed my soul. And from that
Mhm.
point, it has always been important to me. What are the things that feed my soul? What are the things that make me happy? What are the
That's
things that,
right.
right? And so we want all of our
Mhm.
educators to begin to think about that because I know a
Right.
lot of us have put our heart and our soul, into teaching, into family. And what about us? What about
Mhm.
you, the
Mhm.
human being? The
That's right.
human being. What is it that feeds your soul and your spirit? What
Yeah.
is it that gives you life and brings you joy? You got to think about it. You have to know it. And then you have to actually actively
Yeah.
practice it. Right?
Activated. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's a powerful thing that your administrator said that to you because look at how you've carried that with you. So even, I'm thinking about in working with some teachers, I'm not just talking about getting their certification. I'm saying, okay, so after you get the certification, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go next? And for some of us, I just talked about singing. Some people, their passion involves their profession. They're
Hmm.
passionate about students' homelessness. They're passionate about helping students in STEM. They're passionate. So we're not saying that it has to have this side hustle appearance. I acknowledge those people that their passions involve their profession. Those civil rights attorneys that are working their practice, but they're also doing pro bono work. It's the same thing that we're talking about.
Hmm.
That's a person that has those professional passions. So we're going to be looking to hear from some of you and hear your great stories.
Absolutely. And I know that you're all doing amazing things, and we have to support one another in doing those things as well, right? My passion is teacher self-care. There's no question about that for loads of reasons we'll get into in the series, but it's super important to me, right? Like teachers are whole human being people. We are
Yes.
first and foremost, and sometimes other people forget that, but sometimes we forget that. Like we
Yes, we do.
define ourselves as being educators as our entirety, our
Mhm.
whole self. But
Mhm.
it's a piece of who we are. What
Yeah.
about those other pieces? What about those other pieces?
And empowerment is not just being on the picket line fighting for more income. Empowerment can also be about standing up for opportunities to serve in your school. And it's not the standing up doesn't mean like everything is about a fight. It's about believing that your voice can be heard. It's about believing that you have something to contribute and contributing. I was actually with two teachers yesterday, made a connection with two teachers. Um, and the teacher was saying, I'm new to the school, but I don't really feel as though I have anything to contribute to this new school community.
Mhm.
And I said, but you just left a specialized school and you came to a public school. You just shared with this person about all of the resources and all of the um, tools and things that are available for special educators that the teachers at this public school don't know about. You are bringing a form of excellence and a form of expertise to
Mhm.
the table. Don't discount that just because it's your first year there. So that's what I mean by feeling empowered to do that, to contribute, to offer. Sometimes it may or may not be received, but don't walk in it as though it's not there.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what I'm all about. Mhm.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
That beautiful blend of teacher self-care and teacher empowerment.
absolutely. So we know you all are a part of um, our Facebook group and our forum. We invite you to invite others to join us, come and be a part. We are grateful to have you all as
Yes.
part of our forum. We need you to feel like you could just chirp in. I know I talk a lot on stage. I know. But I mean, I I am excited about the diversity of folks that are with us. And so I'm just constantly, and Chandra and I had the conversation about I'm kind of like a professional information gatherer. That's just kind of how I am. And so you might be like, where's this lady getting this stuff? I just am constantly looking. Like today, I sent Chandra something during the day because as I was doing some things at work, anytime I could kind of hear a webinar or something, I take those opportunities. So we invite you to share that stuff that we as colleagues can relate to, can build and grow from. We invite you to do that. Yep, yep, yep.
Yay.
Yay!
We thank you so, so much for joining us for this live. As always, it is so much fun to interact with everyone and just to
Yeah!
talk and to share. We look forward to you joining us next week as we start our second. Well, it's the first in the series, right? As we're kind of thinking about, it's the second actually, thinking about teacher self-care.
Mhm.
And making sure that we're focusing on it, yes, now, but definitely always, right?
That's right.
And it's a great way to kick off the summer because we have the time and the space to do it. And for some of us, if we don't begin to think about it and to put something seriously down in writing or on
Mhm.
alarms or in your schedule, however it works, and begin that practice of taking care of ourselves and feeding our spirits and our passions, this summer will fly by and we will be sitting in the middle of August, September, asking
Mhm.
what happened to the summer.
Mhm.
How come I'm so tired?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. I wisha, I coulda, I woulda.
And please don't spend this summer doing chores the whole time, trying to rebuild. You know, I'm in that group too about the outdoor spaces, but don't think you're going to build a whole outdoor space all summer long, and then you fall out on the beautiful space you built, and then now it's time to go back to work. You
Mm,
know, have some staycations, have some vacations, have some latte trips, have some walks. You know, do a little project, do the little paint. Well, if you sip. Um, you know, but don't make it all stressful. You know,
yeah.
find your place. If you're like me, you're a professional information gatherer, take a course or two. But finish your master's or your doctorate, write your dissertation. Whatever you're doing, make sure you're doing it in balance so that you don't feel the regret. We've talked about this a lot of times on Real Talk Real Time. When August and September comes and you have to go back to work, and then you like, I didn't get a chance to. We
Yep.
don't want that. We don't.
That's right. That's
Have
right.
some fun.
Yes,
So,
yes. You got to feed yourself and nourish yourself to be your best self now. And definitely come August and September for whatever this school year has in store for all of us.
yes. So, we're going to kind of close and invite you to join us next week. Like we said, you'll see it in the forum. But as always, as blessed, did we miss anything in the chat, Chandra, that we should probably respond to? We thank you guys for coming. And next week, next Thursday night from 7 to 8:30, we do have some people already registered, but there's still space available if you'd like to join us.
Yeah, so quite a few people resonated with the question, right? It's a powerful question. I will make sure to ask the question more often from my colleagues, right? What is the
Mhm.
thing that feeds you? What is the thing that you would do that feeds your soul, that feeds your
That's
spirit?
right.
If it wasn't teaching, what would you
That's
do?
right. Mhm.
Feed your
And this is
passion, people. Feed your passion.
it's a great time for you to explore that, and we can help you do that next week. Let's also support each other. There's a lot of great resources we have among ourselves. So,
Mhm.
again, we are your tribe, not just Chandra and I. Collectively, we are a tribe. So, we thank you, Forum
Absolutely.
family, and we hope to see you next week.
Yes. Be well, everyone. And thank you so much. Be well.